Hey, what's up, Jaguar fans, man? I hope y'all are doing great today, man. I'm feeling great. I love making Jaguar videos like always, and I'm just feeling super motivated today because today is Thursday, March 31st, which means we are 1 day away from the NFL draft month, which also means that we're 1 day away from just Jaguars draft content, man. I'm super excited to be doing all this draft content. I've been holding out until April. I'm going to be doing like player breakdowns. I'm also going to be doing full like Jaguar mock drafts as well. Just talking anything Jaguars draft related, basically the entire month of April. Now, before we actually get into today's video, if you guys haven't seen my offensive post free agency breakdown video, I will link to that up above. But also for you guys that don't know me too well, or maybe y'all haven't been following me for a very long time here on YouTube, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Jamal Agnew fan, man, because look, I love Jamal Agnew. Me and all my homies, we love Jamal Agnew. He's just such an electrifying player. He seems like a great guy, and I've been wanting to do a sit-down interview with him. I'm on my 23rd consecutive day on Twitter, adding him, asking him to do a sit-down interview with me one day. And honestly, I want to make that dream become a reality. And if you guys could help me do that every single day, I go on Twitter asking Jamal Agnew to hopefully do a sit-down interview with me one day. Anything you guys could do, from like retweeting, quoting the tweet, adding him, whatever it may be, anything y'all can do to help me make that dream become a reality would mean the world to me. Thank you guys, as always, seriously so much for supporting me here on YouTube. But Brett James, I've been talking long enough. Let's actually get into today's video. Now, like I did on the offensive side of the ball, where I went by the position group, I talked about it, and then I kind of gave a final grade at the end, I'm going to do the same thing here with the defense, and I'm going to start on the defensive line. Now, the Jaguars have Malcolm Brown. We have Arden Key, who we just signed to a one-year, $7 million deal from the San Francisco 49ers coming over. He's going to be a great third down pass rusher to help really alleviate some of that pressure off all the other guys. And he registered 6.5 sacks last season with the 49ers, so he's going to be a great complementary piece on this defensive line. Then you've got Devon Hamilton, Faloranzu Fatsuki, the free agent we signed from the New York Jets, Jay Tufele, our rookie last season from USC. You've also got Roy Robertson Harris and DeJuan Smoot as well. Shout out to DeJuan Smoot, man, great guy. But this Jaguars defensive line, and we're still in a 3-4 defense, let me preface my comments. As of right now on ESPN, even though I'm sure Mike Caldwell will go to a 4-3, this is what our defensive line looks like. I think our defensive line actually has some of the best depth on our entire team, alongside with our secondary, which I'll get into at the end of this video. The defensive line, I think, has a lot of high upside. I saw last season through Joe Cullen, our run defense and sometimes our pass rush really did a great job, and it stepped up a lot. We saw that in games in Week 18 versus the Colts. We saw it versus Josh Allen and the Bills. This defensive line, I think, has a lot of potential and has a lot of high upside in general, and I really like the direction in which it's going. Maybe we add in it throughout the draft with a guy possibly like Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm not really sure. That's a draft video within and itself. But the Jaguars definitely have a lot of high upside on this defensive line, and I think that they've got a lot of great depth. Our third down pass rush is going to be insane, especially if we upgrade at number 1 overall. But I really do like our defensive line. There's no guy on here that really sticks out as like an edge rusher premium number 1. Josh Allen has been too inconsistent, even though he's definitely shown the flashes and capability of being a great transcendent player in this game. The Jaguars got a lot of depth, and I like the defensive line a lot. I'm going to give the defensive line, honestly, like a B-, just because I got to see where they go into the season. This defensive line could really fluctuate depending on what they do moving forward, but I like our D-line a lot. Now moving into the linebackers, and like I said, we're still technically listed as a 3-4 defense. So at linebacker, we've got Josh Allen, Shaq Quarterman, Jacksonville product, shout out to Oak Leaf High School, Dakota Allen, Dylan Moses, who was our undrafted free agent from the Alabama Crimson Tide last season. A lot of Jaguar fans, including myself, are high on him, and hopefully he can come into training camp fully ready and healthy to go, because I'm excited to see what he can do. We got the Atlanta Falcons middle linebacker coming over in free agency, Foyesade Aluakon. It's still going to take me some time to get used to saying that name. Dakota Allen, really just, special teams player. Chappelle Russell, special teams player. Kaylavon Chason, our former number 20 overall pick back in 2020. And then Jordan Smith. He's actually got a YouTube channel as well. Linebacker from University of Alabama, Birmingham. Great guy as well. Our linebacker core is pretty solid and intact, but with the Jaguars moving to a 4-3 defense, which is what I expect, the defense in the linebacker position is looking very small and not very good. Losing guys like Damian Wilson and Miles Jack obviously didn't help our cause. Bringing in a Louis Khan to help shore up that middle linebacker position did help, but what are we going to do with the weak side? What are we going to do with guys like Shaq Quarterman, Dylan Moses, etc.? I don't know where the Jaguars are going to go in terms of the linebackers, and a guy I still have some faith in is K'Lavon Chaisson from 2020. He hasn't shown a lot of improvement since coming into the league, but with every guy in our 2020 draft class, like Chaisson, like Laviska Shenault, and a handful of others, they're on their third head coach and third coordinator in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't had a lot of success because the Jaguars haven't been good, but also they just haven't been put in a position to succeed. Laviska Shenault, K'Lavon Chaisson, this is both their, make it or break it type of year. I'm still high on Chaisson. I don't think he's going to be elite by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think if you can put him in the right position to be successful, he can be successful because he's got the speed and the athletic ability to. But the Jaguars have a lot to address when it comes to the linebacker position, and this is a position alongside with the safety/wide receiver room that still needs a lot of improvement. It's not great right now, but you know what? I'm going to give it a C+, just because there's not really a true, linebacker one on this team to put alongside, a bunch of other complementary pieces right now. I like a Louis Khan. I like Chaisson. I like Josh Allen. There's some potential in this room, but it definitely needs improvement. It gets a C+ for me. That's just where I'm at. And now for the Jaguars secondary. This is probably the Jaguars' strongest group on the entire team. With the cornerback room, you've got guys like Shaq Griffin, Darius Williams coming over from the LA Rams this offseason. Shout out to Darius Williams, man, Creekside product, but also he's just a Jacksonville homegrown guy, and he wanted to come to Jacksonville and he took a pay cut. Shout out to Darius Williams. Tyson Campbell, our rookie from the second round last season out of the University of Georgia, really came into his own. He really struggled in the beginning of his rookie season, but he really came into his own and really found a groove towards the end of the season, was really proving that he could potentially be a lockdown corner for the future of this team moving forward. At the nickel corner position, you've got a guy like Trey Herndon returning. He's a super nice guy. I've talked to him before as well. And then at the safety position, you've got Rayshawn Jenkins, Andre Sisco, Daniel Thomas, and Andrew Wingard. But otherwise, the safety position actually looks pretty good. I actually didn't even mention Rudy Ford as well, who was actually a very solid and productive signing, who made some complimentary plays on special teams and on the defensive side of the ball last season, just really being aggressive. And hopefully he can actually make some more contributions this season as well. But I think our safeties definitely need some improvement. I'm very high on Andre Sisco, like a lot of people. I think Daniel Thomas, when he gets his snaps on special teams and on defense, has definitely provided some nice snaps as well. Wingard. But Rayshawn Jenkins, I don't think was as bad as I think a lot of Jaguar fans gave him for. I know he signed a 4-year, $35 million deal. He has a huge cap hit on the Jaguars roster this season. But, he definitely showed some promise. I don't think he was as bad as, the perception of him was. He's not great, but he's good enough. But this is definitely our strongest group when you talk about three legitimate corners in Darius Williams, Shaq Griffin, and Tyson Campbell as well. And I expect Tyson Campbell to only continue to grow and get better, because I think he can definitely be a cornerback one for this team moving forward. I really love our secondary right now, and it's definitely the least of my concerns, even though I'd love to go out there and still potentially get a safety in the draft, whether that's Kyle Hamilton. I'm not even going to get into the draft. I would just like to see the Jaguars make at least one move at the safety position via draft. But otherwise, the safety room is pretty damn good to me, and I just mean the secondary in general. It gets a B+ for me, just because I'm high on Sisco. I think he's going to be legit. Plus, we have three legitimate corners in Trey Herndon, who's been here, done that. He'll play some valuable snaps once in a while, once in a blue moon, because I don't know how much nickel packages we're going to run. Regardless, we've got a good secondary. As of right now, Andrew Wingard, it gets a B+ for me, the secondary. But Jaguar fans, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys make of our defense? And like I said, if you guys haven't already seen the offensive post-free agency breakdown video, I will link to that up above for you guys to see. But Jaguar fans, like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And also, if you guys want to see more NBA and Jacksonville Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube, make sure y'all consider hitting that subscribe bell so y'all can stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Peace!